So today we'll start with 18FT 704 garment testing, performance and sustainability. Now we have seen in earlier unit and the lessons that how the protocols are there for the garment. Now here in this unit 2 common protocols for garment testing, we will talk about special tests which are to be carried out for special garments in the lesson 3. Now what are the different types of tests are to be carried out here? Normally when we are talking about the special tests which are to be carried out in the garment, so those are specific for the products. Different products, they are having different special tests and different protocols are used for that purpose. Like a breathable garment, or it is a water resistance garment, or it is a waterproof garment. So how the testing protocol will be determined and what are the tests to be carried out for different technical application of the garments. Those are used for the outerwear normally. So let us see in special tests what are the additional tests are to be carried out for technical outerwear and rainwear. So with this introduction, let us start with the different products first in technical outerwear or rainwear. So these are the different products which are shown here, and different special tests which are to be carried out for them is the water repellency, water resistance, coating verification and breathability. These kind of products are to be coated in order to impart certain properties. So that's why coating verification and breathability is very important into it. Now additional tests for this technical outerwear depends upon the application. As you can see the application here, that little bit of rain is there. So water repellency plays an important role because water should not penetrate easily into those garments, especially as a result of being treated for such a purpose, and there is a surface coating into it so that water cannot easily penetrate inside it. That is the water repellency we talk about. Now water repellency, when you are talking, there are various kind of applications are there. Water repellency is very important. Like here mountaineering, you can see mountain climbers are there. Water repellency plays an important role to it. Now there are specific tests applicable to determine the water repellency. Now one of such instrument has been used here, how the water repellency test is getting carried out. Now you can see the spraying of water onto this at a certain distance and then measurement of that water repellency. But how it will be judged? That is the questions. So that answer is that AATCC test method. So water repellency is getting judged through spray test, and AATCC test methods are there for that purpose. But what about the rating? Let us see that water repellency, how the rating is done, whether the particular product is suitable or not, how this rating is getting done. In that water repellency rating, you can see that there are 6 figures, one starting with 0 to 100. So you can easily understand here that which one is water is more and which is where the water is not more. That is where weighting is done with the water and where there is no penetration of water. So how the gradient is getting established. Now in that rating, if you see that 100 means there is no sticking or weighting of the upper surface. 90 denotes slight random sticking. Then 80 denotes weighting of water surface or the upper surface by spraying. Similarly 0 means complete weighting of whole upper and lower surface. So that is not desirable at all. So normally 80 and above is acceptable for this purpose, water repellency testing. Then comes water resistance testing. What do you mean by water resistance testing? So this is one of the area that water resistance testing is done, and it is the ability to resist the penetration of water to some degree, but not entirely. So that is the water resistance property. So these kind of properties are getting utilized by the hikers should wear the water resistance clothing in case of rain or snow. So that is called water resistance property, as can be seen in the photograph. Now, water resistance, when you are talking, there are different examples are available before you. Winter jackets are typically water resistance, and insulation properties are also there in certain kind of winter jackets. Now, apart from that, water resistance properties are to be tested, and how it should be tested. So one of such equipment has been demonstrated here, and there is also a specific test method in AATCC, that is called the rain testing or rain tester. So in this kind of testing of water resistant property, you can see the spraying, how the water is getting sprayed there at a certain distance, and after that a test specimen backed by a weighted blotter is sprayed with the water for 5 minutes under controlled conditions. So this is the water resistance testing. Now in this water resistance testing, there is a particular testing methodology is described in American Association of Textile Chemists and Colorists test method, that is called AATCC 35, and a schematic view is shown here. The blotter, after this penetration of the water or the spraying of the water, is then reweighed to determine the amount of water which has leaked through the specimen during the test. So that is the evaluation point, that is how much this material is water resistant. So that is getting judged here. So there are various important properties here. One is water resistant property, another is water repellency property, and then waterproof property is also there, which is fully protected with water. That is a waterproof property, we call it as. Certain application, of course, it is also required. And one of the important area of this kind of technical outerwear is the coating. Coating material has to be used here. So different kind of coated materials, the photographs are shown here in the picture. So for this, coating verification is done, and different types of commercial fabrics are also available into this area, that is called the PVC coated fabrics are available. Then polytetrafluoroethylene coated fabrics, PTFE, polyurethane coated fabrics are available, PU, Teflon coated fabrics are also available, silicone coated fabrics are also available, and finally the vinyl coated fabrics. So these are the different kinds of coating depending upon the applications are available for this purpose, and for which different testing methods what we are describing here. Coating verification, when you are talking, that there is also one test method available, that is called hydrostatic pressure test, and this is again written in AATCC 127. So one needs to follow this particular method to see that verification of the coating and whether coating is appropriate or not. Okay, so this is called water resistance hydrostatic pressure test. So this is carried out in that fashion. And breathability is very, very important for those technical outerwear, because coated material, when it is there on the garment, of course the breathability takes an important role, because uncomfortable situation may also happen. So for that, air permeability is getting judged. How it is getting judged? It is judged by air permeability tester of textile fabrics. Complies with China test method GBT 5453 or ISO test method 9237 or 9073, etc. And this is the instrument used for this purpose of determination of air permeability. Now coming into the point of breathability, when you are talking about this breathability terminology, There are certain other aspects are also there in this breathability as sportswear. Okay, so sports person actually they have to be very careful about the breathability part, and garment of technical outerwear breathability is very important, different other purposes. Now let us come to the additional test for intimate and sleepwear. So this is one of the figure of sleepwear. Here flammability testing is very important. Children's sleepwear flammability testing, and yarn slippage also plays an important role to it for intimate and the sleepwear properties. So what are the additional tests for intimate and sleepwear? So this is also one of the examples. Colorfastness to perspiration is very important. Stretch and recovery properties for elastic band which are used there also is very important for intimate and sleepwear garments. Now other tests which are also incorporated is that some of the lingeries which are available and widely used, so their colorfastness to perspiration is very important. Then stretch and recovery for elastic band is also important. So those tests are the mandatory test for this kind of garment. Now additional tests also include like colorfastness to perspiration for intimate apparel and sleepwear, like the figure which has been shown here. Stretch and recovery properties for elastic band also here plays an important role. So intimate and sleepwear is getting judged in this fashion. Now coming into the children's sleepwear and the flammability testing. Here one 45-degree flammability testing is there, and also there is a vertical flammability tester. So two kinds of testing instruments are there. This is also a 45-degree flammability tester, and children's apparel is normally getting judged through this kind of vertical flammability tester. So these children apparels, both 45-degree and this vertical flammability, both are applicable. Now in this case yarn slippage also plays an important role. So how much the distortion is there in the yarn while it is there in the fabric, how much seam distortion. Now there are instruments for colorfastness to perspiration for this kind of apparels, and perspirometer is used for this purpose. So colorfastness to perspiration is very important for this purpose. Colorfastness to perspiration, because already we have seen this, that how it fades near the lower arm area after this use, and this is getting judged. Stretch and recovery for elastic band of course is getting judged to different instruments, and it is useful for sports persons also. Now let us see what are the additional tests required for sweaters. As you can see the sweater, there are important area is the fabric weight that is getting judged to the electronic balance. There is also another important part of this sweater testing is that apart from the garment testing is the neck area. So neck stretch area is very important in this kind of sweater. So neck stretch is getting done through some scales. Okay, so different types of scales are available for this determination of the neck stretch. So this is a very important part of discussions into sweaters, both neck stretch and weight. Now swimwear, if you take swimwear also different properties are to be judged. One of them is the colorfastness to sea water. So sea water is artificially prepared and then colorfastness test is getting done with this solution. Swimwear also is getting tested for different other properties like colorfastness to sea water. ATCC 106 is getting used, colorfastness to water for sea. Now apart from this swimwear, that we also can judge the swimwear by, apart from the colorfastness to sea water, by chlorinated pool test. So this is also another test needs to be carried out in the laboratory by producing some sort of solution with chlorine. So chlorinated pool water we call it as. So color fastness to chlorinated pool water, because chlorines are used in different kind of swimming area or swimming club, etc. So there chlorinated pool water is getting checked. So ATCC 162 method is there for checking the color fastness to water, especially the chlorinated pool water. So these are the different areas of discussions actually which are to be carried out. And now let us see the additional test for downfill product, this how these downfill products are getting judged. You see the different downfill products are there, air permeability is getting judged there, and also you can see that different other properties are getting judged through downproofness tester. So that particular property is also getting judged through this downproofness. Then additional tests also including the leveling requirement, how the labels are there, what type of feather or down materials have been used into this product, that is also very important. Now downfill product, when you are talking, there is also another important test is the fill power of that particular garment, that downfill product. So that is also getting tested here. So the additional tests include the turbidity also. Turbidity also is getting checked about this. So this is different test methodologies for this purpose used in this garment. Now there is also the oxygen number, that is also getting judged here in this kind of downfill product. So we are seeing different kinds of apparels for which these products are getting tested. Then wrinkle resistance garment also, different kind of formaldehyde testing is there, because resins are getting used there. So resin is getting judged by wrinkle resistance properties are getting imparted, and it is getting judged by the determination of the formaldehyde content. So that plays an important role. It is a carcinogen. So one has to check the material thoroughly for this. So for that spectrophotometer is getting used there for judging this formaldehyde. So there is also important testing like flex aberration testing is getting judged through flex aberration tester for this kind of wrinkle resistant garment. Apart from that, wrinkle resistant garment can also be checked for the appearance reduction or the durable press rating. So that is very important, how much the rating is there in durable press, that is getting judged here. So these are the different areas and the summary of this particular common testing protocol for different other products is that outerwear, innerwear, how it is getting tested, we have seen. Then if it is a swimwear, how it is getting checked. So these are the all technical wears, sweaters, okay, or the downfill products, how it is getting checked. So there are different protocols and different testing is associated with it, and one has to be careful while testing the water resistance or waterproofing or the breathability property of a garment for some other technical applications. So thank you very much for this, and we will see the other parts of different testing in the next unit. Thank you.